Commit to your happiness. You're the only one who can do it.
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit Hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Hello and welcome to the Hopefulist. Thank you for joining me for your daily dose of inspiration and positivity. The quote of the day today is, happiness depends on you. Don't expect someone else to give it to you. Nobody's going to be more invested in your happiness than you. So it's all in your hands. I have been told by my doctor to start limiting my caffeine intake. So I would typically, and I guess it's too much. I guess it's too much. I would typically have about 3 cups of coffee in the morning. And then I would have another cup of coffee in the afternoon when I would wake up from my nap. And I've gotten into a bad habit of having a Diet Coke after my lunch. So my doctor was like, yeah, that's way too much caffeine. So today is the second day that I have had one cup of coffee first thing in the morning. I'm switching right over to water. And again, only day 2. Not as horrible as I thought it would be. I am missing it a little bit for sure. But I got to tell you, it sure does make you appreciate that 1 cup of coffee. I drank that to the last drop. I drank every bit of it. So if you want to gain a new appreciation for something, limit it in your life or go without it for a little bit, and you will have a brand new appreciation for something that you love and have come to take for granted. As we do with most things in life, we eventually start taking everything for granted. That's why it's good to kind of step back once in a while to reassess what we may or may not be taking for granted, and maybe just go on a little sabbatical. And that'll prove to you how important certain things are in life to you each and every day. The topic for today is about making your bed. And it seems that 90% of people in my little informal survey do indeed make their bed. Almost everyone. And there were a lot of you who chimed in on this who say, yes, I do make my bed. There were a couple of exceptions. Kate says, okay, so if I'm home working that day, I make it, but not right after I get up. Days I go to the office, usually not. It's been proven that you shouldn't make your bed immediately after getting up. It should air out. So some days it is left unmade. The only person who knows is me, since nobody goes in my room. We make our bed every day. Joe used to make the bed because he used to be the last one out of it. Then, with the change in work schedules we had here, I started making it. And then for a while there, he would be nice and make it on the weekends since I made it all during the week. But he's kind of stopped doing that now that I'm thinking about it. But it's okay, It's not that big of a deal. When I was single, it was so easy for me to make my bed because I literally barely move. I mean, I think I, flop around from side to stomach, stomach to back, what have you. But I really don't use much of the bed. We've talked about this before where when there's times when Joe's, say, in the guest room because one of us is sick, or if we go to a hotel and there's 2 beds instead of 1, we'll usually sleep in separate beds. And I get up in the morning and there's literally just like a little flat back where I had gotten out of the bed. And Joe's is like all a mess, like covers are all over the place. The sheets are pulled out from under the bed. And yeah, it's a very big disparity between the way that we sleep, the two of us. So I often didn't understand why people made a big deal out of making the bed. I mean, literally, you're just putting that little flap back, right? Apparently not. There's a lot of people who I like to call flip-floppers, and my husband is one of them. Now, I've heard this before about letting the bed air out. I've never really paid much attention to it, but there was a lot of discussion on it here on the topic about how it needs to be aired out, that there's all kinds of not good stuff going on if you do not allow it to breathe and air out. Now, I do not make the bed immediately when I get up. Now, my husband does pull his covers up when he gets out of bed, which I do appreciate, babe. Thank you. So I guess partly it gets aired out. But yeah, a lot of people are saying that they let it air out for just a little bit. Susan says, absolutely, I can't sleep in it if I don't. I agree. I like to get into a made bed. I feel like getting into an unmade bed is, I don't know, it's kind of like chaotic in my brain. Blankets are all over the place. They're not placed exactly where I would like them to be. I don't know. Larissa says, not totally, unless I have company or going away. Most times I just casually throw it together. Michael says, yes, make your bed and change the world. And he linked a video to Admiral McRaven's life lesson number 1, make your bed. Yes, I've heard this before, where it gives you a sense of accomplishment right off the bat. Morgan says, not always, LOL. Rose says, no, but my husband does. Kelly says, most mornings, yes. Mary says, yes, but after it airs out and has light. Karen says, sometimes yes, sometimes no, depends on my mood. Today, that would be a no. Katie says, yes, I have to. It makes me nuts to have a messy bed. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Now, we do get a disparate remark to that. Jim says, no, I do not make my bed. An unmade bed is so much more comfortable to get back into. Yeah, I don't know. Marcy says, yes, I do. The room looks messy with an unmade bed. Well, that's true. Nancy says, yes, I even remake it after my husband has attempted to do it. So, yeah, the room does look really messy if you don't make your bed. I mean, you always make your bed when you're having company, right? When somebody might be coming into your bedroom. So obviously you think that it looks better to have the bed made. I don't always in fact, I rarely put my decorative pillows on, because let's not get crazy. I mean, I put the decorative pillows on when people might be around. People might see my bedroom. But for the most part, nobody sees my bedroom. Even when we have company, nobody really sees the bedroom. There's no reason to go into my bedroom. Bathrooms before the bedroom, right? So there you go. Predominantly, most people say they do make their bed. And as Michael had posted that video, they say it is a huge feeling of accomplishment first thing in the morning. That's why it's so important to do so. Today's blog post, commit to happiness. Do you want to be happy? Well, of course, I know you do. Shouldn't we be willing to do anything in order to be at the ultimate happiness? Yet so often we don't want to be bothered. We don't want to do the things it will take to bring us happiness. Why? Because it feels like work. It feels like work because it is work. But here's the thing. Think about this. Everything takes work to achieve. Everything. We have to build a house before we can live in it, work. Once we move in, we have to keep up maintenance on it, work. We have to work at making our meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We have to work at our jobs for other people in order to secure a paycheck. We have to work while raising our children to be responsible, functioning human beings. We have to work on our relationships to keep them fresh. And to keep them going, we have to work on our fitness if we want to stay in shape. We have to work when we're learning new things by studying. We have to work and practice at games and hobbies that we partake in. Why, oh, why do we think we don't need to work on our own happiness? One of the hardest things for me to do in this work is to convince you to do the work it will take to bring you the happiness we all so desperately want. We seem to think that happiness should just come to us. I know. I thought it for so many years. But nothing just comes to us. We have to work for everything in this life. Why would happiness be any different? And again, this should be work we are willing to dive into. Submerge ourselves in the how-to in order to see results as fast as possible. Why would we put off happiness? I take a lot of online courses, and when I start a new one, I can't wait to watch each and every video to get the most out of it as quickly as I can. How can I convince you to approach the work toward your happiness with the same vigor? I'm not talking about hours on end. I'm talking about a few minutes every day, a few extra minutes weekly, monthly, and yearly in order to set some goals. Get ready, because here I go again. Gratitude journal, the absolute best tool you can use to change your thinking from one of lack to one of abundance. When done properly, a gratitude journal will help you to see how much you have as opposed to what you don't. It's something that literally takes 5 to 10 minutes a day out of 24 hours. It's something that is best done at the same time every day, and you go over the past 24 hours. Pick out things that made you smile, made you feel thankful, made you realize how good life can be. While writing these things down, make sure you feel the gratitude. Go over the items on your list and relive it. Concentrate on how happy these events items made you. Make no mistake, it will be tough at first to find things to put down in your journal. This is how it works, again, with everything. New things are difficult because you aren't used to doing them. But soon you will find yourself looking for things throughout the day to record in your journal. And this is the point of it. So do not repeat items more than once a week. If you write the same things down every day, you are defeating the purpose of looking for more joy throughout your day. Commit to doing the work it will take to get your life exactly as you wish it to be. Sometimes you have to ask yourself some tough questions. Sometimes you have to set aside some extra time to envision what you want to be next for you. To write things down as reminders and then read them. Read books, take courses, listen to podcasts. It's probably not only the most entertaining, but the most fascinating work you will ever do. So who is committed to doing this work? Can I get a shell, yeah? Let's make this a great hump day. And be badass. I'm always here cheering you on.
Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist, hosted by Wendy McClure. For more inspiration, please visit Hopefulist.com. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow on The Hopefulist.
Your happiness depends on you.